Hello, dear students of English 3. Good afternoon for every single student who are getting joined to this Zoom meeting. And for those ones who I'm pretty sure that then you will see, you will watch this Zoom meeting as a recap, okay? Welcome to session 10. We are almost getting close for your final exam. So many of you had been asking through the WhatsApp group when it's going to be the last exam, your final exam. So your final exam will be on session 13, which is the last session of the class. So it means that we're going to be having, we have two sessions ahead, session 11 and session 12. Then you will be having session 13. That is the session when you are going to be making your final exam. Okay, for today's lessons, we're going to be focused on unit 7. We had a great time. So it means that we're going to take a quick look at the introductory video. Then we are going to realize which are the contents, activities, and exercises that will be developing during this session. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at it.
Hello guys, welcome to another session of English 3. Let's take a look at the topics we'll be covering for this session. Okay, so we're going to start off with top 8 leisure time activities in the US. We have reading, watching TV, spending time with family, playing sports, going to the gym, using computers, fishing, and going to the movies. We're going to answer a few questions on this. Okay, so it's very simple. We're going to move on to a conversation that is, did you do anything special? Okay, so it talks about what happened last weekend, right? In the past. Pay attention to how they mentioned the verb tense, right? The past, the simple past, which is precisely our grammar focus, our first grammar focus for this lesson. Simple past. We're going to have an explanation, and then we're going to have an exercise about this. We're also going to have a couple videos about the simple past, and then English grammar for beginners, the regular verbs in past and simple present. Simple tense, sorry. In past simple tense. And then we have second topic, second conversation that will lead us to our next topic. How was your vacation? So pretty much, like it says there, it's a conversation asking about vacations, okay? And in this case, it's focusing on the past tense of the verb to be, which is precisely our next grammar focus, okay? And then we have an explanation about this. To be in past tense, affirmative, negative, to be questions, and short answers. Okay, we have a chart that also shows us how to set up the proper sentences, statements, and then we have the videos to be past and present tense, and the video past simple tense be, which is was and where, and it's one interactive English grammar ESL videos. And then we're going to end off with a practice exercise on the correct form of the verb to be in the past tense. Thank you very much for your attention, and we'll see each other in our next session.
Okay, thank you guys for your attention. So today we're gonna be covering, which is the simple past using and the target language. And here we have a snapshot, the top 8 leisure time activities in the United States. Okay, so we don't have the image very well shown. We're gonna try to get in touch with the system section of the university. Also, we're gonna be having a listening section. Listen to the conversation. Did you do anything special? Okay, so I'm gonna be getting in touch with the system part of the university, of course, and we're gonna try to work in that. Okay. Also, we're gonna be I'm gonna be explaining to you a little bit more about the verb in past. As you know, in English, we have three types of verbs. We have the regular verbs, we have the regular, and we have the mixed. In this case, we have an infinitive and we have the past tense and the negative form when talking about the simple past tense in English. In this case, we're going to be focused on irregular verbs. Some verbs are irregular in the simple past. And here we have some common ones. For example, the verb to go, that is the infinitive. The simple past form is went. An example will be, he went to a club last night. Did he go to the cinema last night? He didn't go to bed early last night. To give, that is another irregular verb that we have in English, and it's formed in the past tense is gave. Okay, so and here we have some examples. We gave her a doll for her birthday. They didn't give John their new address. Did Barry give you my passport? To con, it's another irregular verb. The simple past form of this verb is came. And also we have some examples. My parents came to visit me last July. We didn't come because it was raining. Did he come to your party last week? And some, we have a list of some common irregular verbs in the past tense. In this case, we have the verb be is an irregular verb. To be was were, was not, were not. To have, had, did not have. To do, did not do. To say, said, did not say. To get, got, did not get. To make, made, did not make. To go, went, did not go. To take, took, did not take. To see, saw, did not see. To come, came, did not come. Okay, and those are some common examples that we had when we have an irregular verb. When talking about irregular verb, we are where am or I am, meaning when we have those verbs that they tend to change from the infinitive to the simple past and also to the past participle form. And here we have a video tutorial. What do you do? Simple past tense. Okay, so it means that we are going to enhance, we are going to reinforce, but the video is not available. So it means that, okay, we're gonna try to look for YouTube. Also, we have another video tutorial, English grammar for beginners, regular verbs, and past simple tense. In this case, it's a little bit more easier because we have, as I was mentioning to you, we have three type of verbs in English. We have the regular, we have the irregular, and we have the mixed. For this video tutorial, we're going to be focused on the regular verbs. Regular verbs are those one who has the ending ed at the end of the verb. It's really easy to identify a regular verb, and it's not pretty much difficult for you to identify them because all of them has an ed at the end of the verb, okay? This is a video tutorial about how to identify the regular verb.
Past simple verb forms are created by adding a and t in the end of the verb. For example, want, wanted, he wanted to buy a new car. Call, called, She called him on the phone. For verbs ending in E, we add D in the end. For example, change, changed. He changed his clothes. For verbs ending in Y, first Y changes into I, and then we add E at the end. For example, try, tried. He tried really hard. Remember, when the verb ends in consonant plus vowel plus consonant, we double the last consonant.
This is a grammar rule that we have when adding ed with the verbs when they have the consonant, a vowel, and another consonant. It means that we're gonna add the double consonant that it has at the end, and ed, and then ed. Okay, so basically, okay, that is another grammar rule when adding ed to the verb. If the last letter is x, faxed, so we just add ed, okay? Fax plus ed. Also, when the verb has the ending vowels, and also we just add ed at the end of the verb. In here, for example, stayed, stayed, okay? That's very clear examples for you to identify, understand, and put into practice when interacting, when communicating, when speaking, okay? Thank you very much for the time that you spent on watching this video tutorial. Also in here, we're gonna have the first evaluated exercise, and I will be explaining to you, okay? Only explanation. Fill in the blanks with the correct form and the simple past tense. As you might know, this is an evaluated exercise, and it's part of your accumulative process. So it will be available until Saturday, the November 27th at the midnight, okay? You will have 2 attempts. If you fail on the first attempt, you're going to have the second attempt to make it better. I'm just going to explain you, so it means that we have this verb in parentheses. You are going to transform into the simple past tense form of the verb. In this case, will be entered. They entered the building. Then you need to transform the other verbs using the grammar rules that we had been discussing before. Okay, if you notice, it was great, it was correct. So you just need to take a look at the sentence and the verb in parentheses, and then transformed, adding ed if it is a regular verb, of if it is not. Also in here, we have a listening, a conversation. Listen to the conversation. How was your vacation? Also will be informing to the assistant section of the university for you to have the images available in the tracks as well. Also, to be is an irregular verb, and we have the simple past of the verb to be in English, and we have 2 forms. Was for the singular nouns or subject pronouns, and were for plural nouns or subject pronouns. And here we have 3 manners to articulate statements. The number 1 is affirmative. And for affirmative statements, we just need a subject pronoun plus was, were, plus the complement. For the negative statements, we just need a subject pronouns plus was not or were not plus the complement, okay? And here we have some examples. Affirmative, I was tired this morning. You were very good. He was the best in his class. She was late for work. It was a sunny day. We were at home. You were on holiday. They were happy with their test results. For the negative sentences using the past tense of the verb to be, the negative of the verb to be can be made by adding not after the verb. In this case, was or weren't. I was not, you were not, he was not, she was not, it was not, we were not, you were not, they were not. For example, I was not tired this morning. You were not crazy. He was not married. She was not famous. It was not hot yesterday. We were not invited. You were not at the party. They were not friends. Also, we have the negative contractions of the negative form. In this case, we can make the negative contractions of the verb to be in the past tense by joining the verb was or weren't and apostrophe T. Example, were not, weren't. We don't make a contraction of the subject and the verb. Example, I was. For example, I was not tired this morning. I wasn't tired this morning. That is the contraction. You were not crazy or you weren't crazy. He was not married or he wasn't married. She was not famous or she wasn't famous. It was not hot yesterday or it wasn't hot yesterday. We were not invited or we weren't invited. You were not at the party or you weren't at the party. They were not friends or they weren't friends, okay? That is the grammar explanation for you to handle. Also, we have the interrogative form to create questions with verb to be. You just need to put the verb before the subject. In this case, was, were, plus the subject pronoun, plus the predicate. In this case, we have affirmative question. I was late. In this case, was I late? You were sick. Were you sick? She was from Italy. Was she from Italy? He was surprised. Was she surprised? It was a big house. Was it a big house? We were ready. Were we ready? You were early. Were you early? They were busy. Were they busy? Also, guys, before the verb, you can also add a WH question words such as why, who, what, where, etc. Were you happy? Yes, I was. Why were you happy? Because I promoted at work. Also, we have short answers. When we have closed questions with was, where, plus the subject pronoun, plus the predicate, we're going to provide short answers. In spoken English, we usually give short answers in response to questions. Was he from Japan? Yes, he was from Japan. The last part from Japan is not necessary because we use short answers to avoid repetition when the meaning is clear, straight to the point. Was I late? Yes, you were, or no, you weren't. Were you sick? Yes, I was. No, I wasn't. Was he surprised? Yes, he was. No, he wasn't. Was she from Italy? Yes, she was. Not she wasn't. Was it a big house? Yes, it was. Not it wasn't. Were we ready? Yes, we were. Not we weren't. Were you early? Yes, we were. No, we weren't. Were they busy? Yes, they weren't. No, they weren't. With to be, we don't use contractions in affirmative, short answers. Okay, that is a very important point to mention or highlight. And here we have also another image, another chart that it shows the different forms to articulate sentences or statements. In this case, the affirmative form, the negative form, the interrogative form. Okay, so this is very clear, very easy to handle, guys. However, if you are struggling with the verb and you might have some kind of issues, please do not hesitate to contact me through the WhatsApp group. But let's take a quick look at this video tutorial that is expressing the different usages of the verb to be in English. In this case, the simple past tense form.
John is 70 years old. He is old. Is the present tense and it is used for now. John is 70 now in the present. He is old now. In the past, 60 years ago, John was 10 years old. He was young. Was is the past tense. John was 10 in the past, or 60 years ago. He was young then, at that moment in the past. Is the present tense. Was is the past tense. Let's look at the subject, they. In the present tense, now or today, we say they are old. What is the past tense of they are? We say they were. In this example, they were young. Are is in the present tense. Were is in the past tense. Let's quickly look at to be in the simple present tense. I am happy. He is rich. She is a nurse. It is easy. We are early. You are at school. They are quiet. To be in the simple past tense is as follows. I was sad. He was poor. She was a student. It was difficult. We were late. You were at home. They were noisy. Let's practice. Change the following sentences into the past tense. He is hungry. He was hungry. It is cold. It was cold. They are musicians. They were musicians. She is sick. She was sick. We are together. We were together. I am in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom. You are confused. You were confused. Susan is at home. Susan was at home. We use was because Susan is she. She was at home. Jack and Mike are angry. Jack and Mike were angry. We use were because Jack and Mike are they. They were angry.
The dog is big. The dog was big. It was because the dog is it. It was big. With to be in the present tense, we can use time expressions such as now, right now, and at the moment. For example, I am happy at the moment. It is easy right now. They are quiet.
Those are some examples that we have using the affirmative sentences and the past tense of the verb be. Also, we have the negative form and the interrogative form that I had been explaining to you before. And also in here, we have another video tutorial that it will help you out to improve your skills when it comes to learning and practicing and speaking, which is, and using the simple past tense of the verb to be, okay? This is another practical video for you to watch, and throughout this video, I'm pretty sure that you will improve. Okay, and here we have the simple past or the past simple of the verb be. In this case, you already know that is was where, was for singular, and where for plural. Was for singular pronouns or nouns in this case, and also where for plural in this case. Singular, sorry, was singular subject pronouns or nouns, and were formed plural subject pronouns and nouns. Okay, so in here we have another grammar explanation about the usages of the verb be, and the past simple form. Okay, also in affirmative, negative, and interrogative form. That is one of the main aspect to be relevant when talking, when teaching, which is the verb be. Okay, and also guys, at the end of this session, you're going to have another evaluated exercise, and you are going to fill in the correct form of the verb was, where. In this case, you're going to have 2 attempts, and this exercise will be available until Saturday, 27th, and at midnight, okay? And this is part of your accumulative process, so it means that it counts. Okay, in here, mom and dad, we're talking about 2 persons, so it means, sorry, we're talking about 2 people, so it means they are plural. In this case, we're going to use the singular, the plural form of the verb be in past tense. Sorry, guys. Okay, and this is just an explanation and example for you. The others you need to make it by yourself, because this is an evaluated exercise. If you notice, the answer is pretty good. And this is everything for this session, guys. Let's remember that for those students who were not able to get joined to the Zoom meeting, there is always this section, which is the linking. So it means that you're not going to have any excuses to say, oh, I couldn't get joined to the Zoom meeting because I was working or I was doing something extra. However, so in here, you're going to click on this Zoom meeting that you missed, and you totally will have a recap of the Zoom meeting that you couldn't be able to attend. Okay. I just want to say thank you. And let's remember that it's always important to try to get joined to every single Zoom meeting, because throughout the Zoom meetings, we clarified, we ask, we answer, and we are a little bit more sure about what's the content about, what the activities are about, and what the exercises are going to be about as well. Okay, thank you so much for your attention, and I really cannot wait to get to see you into the next Zoom meeting that we will be having next weekend. Goodbye and take care, everybody.